Okay, this video is going to describe what a criminal defense lawyer does. So a bulk of what we do, in fact, is taking calls from people who think they need a criminal defense lawyer. Quite often, many people think, oh, well, I've been victimized or something, and quite often we end up referring those people to police and not to the criminal defense system. But for those who are, in need of our services, obviously we need to figure out, how we can help them and how they can afford to hire us and all that sort of stuff. So that's a big part of what we do. Once we're hired and we know that there's work to be done, the bulk of what we do is appearing in court. So there are adjournments, which are more minor court appearances, but then there's more heavy-duty stuff like bail hearings, guilty pleas, trials, and appeals. All of those are contested hearings in court. The lawyer is there advocating on behalf of the client's cause and pointing out to the judge or the jury the strengths and weaknesses of the case. Another big part of what we do is drafting paperwork. We are not contract lawyers generally. The types of paperwork that we draft are court applications that explain in advance in writing what we are seeking, how the police made errors, how the Crown is wrong, and ultimately trying to persuade. And so a big part of what we do is drafting that stuff. Another part of what we do is research. So we research both legislation and cases. So legislation is politicians enact various statutes, and then judges are tasked with interpreting those statutes, and those are the case law or jurisprudence. So criminal lawyers have to review both the legislation, usually criminal code, and case law. The last thing that we do is really advising clients. So we see the evidence, the client has concerns, we say, look, we're weak here, we're strong here, this is what we think you should do. And so that's a big part of what we do is advising. And the last thing we do, of course, which I mentioned earlier, is advocate. So to the Crown, to the judge, to the jury, we are out there championing the client's cause, trying to get the best possible result for the client, because that's our duty.